As I thought about myself and my past, so many years of my working life, what is one thing that I underestimated? When I joined my job, if that day somebody had told me, Frankie, you're 500 or 1000 rupees if you start investing today, every month. But this 18 lakhs today would have been more than 3 crores, 3 to 4 crores. At 15%, you can grow your wealth to 6 crores of lack of awareness or lack of financial literacy or illiteracy. I was among fund managers. I was talking to fund managers. I knew what they were doing. I could have just gone and talked. I had an EMI for my house. So I thought, that's great. I'm building wealth. I'm building a house. But that was a big mistake I made. But this generation has taken so many loans. So if you have EMIs, if all your income, your salary is going into EMI, then how can you invest? So why you did not invest in the last 5 years? What could be the reason? After my last video, if you watch my last video, I talked about what is the big loss, what's a huge loss by not investing 5,000 in the last 5 years. There's a huge loss. And if you have seen my calculations, potentially you have lost, if you're 30 years old and if you've not done that, potentially you have lost maybe 2.5 crores by the time you retire. And that money is lost forever. Yes, there is still a way to compensate, but I will share it in the end. So this video is about why you did not invest, or why there are thousands and lakhs of retail investors, employees, working class or salaried people who did not invest in the last 5 years. I will talk about the reasons, and you can find out, and you will get an opportunity to find out if you have any of these. So there are 7 things I'm going to share with you today, which will help you to find out why you did not invest and make course correction so that you can invest in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years of your life, or even beyond, as long as you are earning. So I'm Frankie Fernandez. I'm a money and marriage coach. I'm a certified financial planner and I'm a certified marriage coach. My goal is to help young families to grow their wealth and also their marriage, their relationship, because I believe both are equally important. And the real wealth and the true wealth is when you have both of these growing. If you're new to this channel, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel because I will share content which will help you in your family life, in growing your wealth and your relationships. So let's get into today's video. What are the 7 things which prevented you from investing in the last 5 years, and how you can overcome those and invest in the future? Underestimating what you can lose over time. As I thought about myself and my past, so many years of my working life, what is one thing that I underestimated? And that is time. Underestimating what you can lose over time. I started working in 1993, and one of the best industries, mutual funds. I joined I joined as an account executive in SBI Mutual Fund in 1993, when mutual funds were absolutely, nobody talked about mutual fund, nobody knew about mutual funds, and there was a great opportunity. And I had a decent salary. I had a good salary. And I could have started small. That is 30 years ago, 31 years ago. But I underestimated. If when I joined my job, if that day somebody had told me, Frankie, you're 500 or 1000 rupees if you start investing today, every month, that will make a big difference in your life 30 years later. And this is exactly what I tell the young folks wherever I'm teaching, wherever I do seminars on finance and personal finances, managing finances, financial planning, whether offline or online. This is one thing I tell every young man and woman. I tell those who have just joined in their 20s and all those who are newly married. This is one thing I tell: start today. Don't underestimate time. In the next 5, 10, 20, 30 years, this decision, what you made, will make a difference. If somebody had told me, Frankie, start with 2000 per month in 1993, I could have. 2,000 per month. Just do this for the next 5 years and keep doubling every 5 years. How much I would have invested? Around 18 lakhs till 2012. Because after 2012, I was far more systematic. But before that, I made a lot of wrong decisions I'm going to talk about shortly. But this 18 lakhs today would have been more than 3 crores, 3 to 4 crores additional money. That is 17x. It is not that I never invested. I invested, timing the market, ad hoc investing, because I worked in different AMCs and mutual funds. And I was thinking I was smart. So investing in stocks, investing in mutual funds whenever I liked, whenever I had excess cash, but I was not deliberate, intentional, and systematic. Just simple math. If you at age 25 start investing 5,000 per month, which is 3 lakhs in 5 years, which is 21 lakhs in 35 years at age 60, you know, at 15%, you can grow your wealth to 6 crores. But if you delay by just 5 years, that means if you do not invest 3 lakhs in the first 5 years, you will lose 3 crores, half of your wealth, simply because you underestimated the power of time. So if you did not invest in the last 5 years systematically, it is because you underestimated the power of time. That in 5 years, what you underestimated the power of time, that in next 20-25 years, what this can make into. Just 5,000 per month for 5 years. That makes it 3 lakhs. And this 3 lakh has the potential to become 2 to 3 crores in the next 25 years. So you underestimated, and that's why you did not invest. If you have invested, thumbs up. Great. You've done a great job. I got a comment, just a one comment to my last video. And this gentleman actually shared that he invested in the last 5 years in mid caps, and he's got probably 60-65% returns. So yes, there are some who have invested, but there are some who have not. And if you are one of them, remember, do not underestimate the power of time, because as time grows, you gain from compounding. So don't underestimate time. You can watch my video on 3 legs of compounding. I'm sharing there exactly these things of how to take advantage of time. So watch that video. There are some other videos also on investing and taking advantage of time. Please watch them. So number 2, lack of awareness, financial literacy. Lack of awareness. So why did I not consider the importance of time? Why did I not think about compounding? Why did I not think about disciplined investing? Because of lack of awareness or lack of financial literacy or illiteracy. I was working in a mutual fund company, but still I was financially illiterate because I was not reading up. And those days there were no YouTube videos. So I didn't have a chance to watch videos, but I could have read. I was among fund managers. I was talking to fund managers. I knew what they were doing. I could have just gone and talked. I could have just gone and understood from them. I could have gone and understood the power of mutual funds, what it means to invest in mutual funds. But I did not. So lack of financial awareness is a big, big problem. And today we are living in times where there is abundance of knowledge. When we got married in 2001, yes, we did not have a lot of videos to watch, but definitely we could have read up something as a family and gained knowledge, because we were just spending, going out and eating maybe sometimes, or traveling by auto when I could have gone by bus, or doing a lot of things, actually underestimating the power of time and compounding. So we were not literate. How much do you spend time reading or watching YouTube? There are so many free videos, so many courses, online courses, which are so economic or cheap. How much time are you giving in learning about financial literacy? I'm not talking about investing in stock markets, knowing companies and all that. That is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about basic literacy, knowing what is inflation, compounding, SIPs, what are equities, what are debt, right? Debt instruments. So that kind of financial literacy, so that nobody cheats you, so that you know where to invest. So financial literacy is a huge thing. In the last 5 years, if you have not invested, that could be because you did not know a lot of things. And if you invested, trust me, I know that you invested because you have been reading and you have been watching videos. So don't stop doing that. Don't stop watching YouTube videos or online courses or reading, because that is what will help you make the right decisions. And you'll gain and you will grow your wealth. Number three, wrong spending priorities. Now, this is a huge one, especially in our generation. Just like we underestimate the power of time and compounding, we also, this is another big thing, we underestimate what this little money can do, which we spend casually or carelessly. So casual spending or impulsive spending actually is something so harmful for you, for growing your wealth, because you do not know what that 100 rupees or 500 rupees can do to your wealth. When we were married 23 years back, there was nothing called financial planning or SIPs or whatever. We didn't know. I didn't know. We would spend so casually. We would spend on anything that we liked. What we would see is that this much is my income, and so I can spend so much. Not realizing that those little savings can matter. I had an EMI for my house, so I thought that's great. I'm building wealth. I'm building a house. But that was a big mistake I made. So how are you spending? How is your spending? Are you casually spending just because you have money? Ordering food? How many times a week do you order food? What about travel? What about the other little things we do? The subscriptions, annual subscriptions or monthly subscriptions for entertainment, or going out to restaurants and eating with friends, or just buying those dresses or those shoes or that mobile phone, right? So these are all spending that we do, not realizing that this same money, which is 100 rupees or 500 rupees or 1000 rupees, will matter a lot in the next 20, 30 years. I'm not saying do not enjoy life, do not spend money. Yes, spend money on your necessities. For example, go to the groceries, buy your necessities. But a lot of times we buy in groceries things that may not be needed. We don't go with a list. So we end up doing casual spending. Be careful. That 500 rupees, that 1000 rupees can matter a lot. If you have not been able to save in the last 5 years, probably you need to check your spending. You need to check, are you really spending on the right things? Or you are casually spending or spending impulsively. Number four, the burden of debt and loans. I'm sure most young families have loans, have taken loans. A home loan, a car loan, personal loan, credit card loan, gold loan, and all kind of loans young people take. Even when we were married, newly married, we had a loan. I had a huge EMI that I was paying for my house. And that is a big mistake I made. Watch my video, 3 properties, 2 mistakes, and 1 lesson learned. I've actually explained what I lost because early in my life, I took a loan for a house. Any loan is bad. Home loan is good, but probably after 40 or 45 years of age, not before that. But this generation has taken so many loans. So if you have EMIs, if all your income, your salary is going into EMI, then how can you invest? So if you have not been able to invest in the last 5 years, probably because you had a list of EMIs to pay. When you have so many EMIs, how can you invest? When I ask a lot of young families whom I interact with, a lot of them have loans. They've taken so many loans. The only thing that they can start doing now is clear up the loans. Watch my video, get rid of your loans. It will help you how to get rid of your loans and why you should get rid of your loans. Because if you have loans, if you have debt, if you're burdened with loans, you will never be able to invest. And probably that's the reason in the last 5 years you have not been able to invest. And if you have been able to invest, just check. And if those who do not have loans, they would have been able to invest in the last 5 years. Let me know in the comment box why you were able to invest if you have invested. Maybe that will help others to know why you invested and why they did not invest. Point five, wrong financial products. What are these wrong financial products which have prevented you from investing? When I just joined my first job, there was one a friend of ours and his sister came and she sold me an LIC policy. That was my first LIC policy. It was a money back policy. And she shared with me a dream of how this money back policy will help me as I keep paying the premiums, and every 5 years how I'll get money and how it will help me to grow my wealth. Later on, another friend of mine sold me endowment policies. And later on, I purchased ULIPs. These are all tied up with equities. And I purchased all these products. Now, these were all wrong products, bad financial products. They have their place, they have their value, but not before you invest in equities. These are all bad products. I'm sure you also have these products. When you have these products, you pay very huge premiums. And when you pay huge premiums, where do you have the money to invest? In mutual funds or equities. So check, find out, do you have, what are your financial products? What are those policies? What are those insurance products you've purchased? Are they preventing you from investing? Did these prevent you from investing in the last 5 years? Because if these have prevented you, they will continue to prevent you in the future. Watch my videos. 3 things that will slow down your wealth. And this is one of them. Watch that video. It will help you to understand and what action you must take now that you know that this has prevented you from investing in the last 5 years and how much you have lost. Point number 6, lack of financial goals. Way back in 2012, this is the first time I met a financial planner. My company, Franklin Templeton, arranged for a financial planner, and I spent maybe 30 minutes with him. And that was an eye-opener moment for me. And that actually changed my whole trajectory of investing and planning and growing my wealth. That was a turning point, especially in our family life. Financial goals. That is the first time I was introduced to financial goals like retirement, children's education, their marriage, and some other goals that probably I wanted to have. When I sat with the financial planner, I was shocked. I was stunned at what happened. I wish I had known this earlier. And this is the same thing happens when I talk to young families and share and help them with their financial planning. They're also shocked and stunned, and they tell me, I wish I had started 5 years or 10 years earlier. Financial goals help you understand your goals and your milestones and how much money you need. For example, a young family in their 30s, you will need most probably 5 to 7 crores of corpus just for your retirement, plus your children's education, plus their marriage, which can run into 8 to 10 crores. So once you know what are all those milestones, your financial milestones, and then how much to invest to reach there. For example, or you may have to invest 10 to 15,000 per month just for your retirement, depending on what are your today's expenses. Watch my video on common financial goals and retirement. These 2 videos I've actually shared an Excel sheet. Download that Excel sheet, input your numbers, and find out what are your requirement in your retirement, your children's education, their wedding, or any other loan, any other goals like housing, or buying a house, or buying a car, or whatever. Many do not have financial goals. So you do not know how much you need, how much you must save. Financial goals will help you how much to save. And if you know how much to save, what happens? When you do your budget, many do not do their budgets. So when you are doing your budgeting, you actually set aside money for your financial goals. And the rest of the money you spend. For example, if you're having a salary of 50,000 rupees, the moment you come to know that you have to set aside 25,000 because your financial goals tell you, what do? The rest of the money you spend. If you're setting aside 20,000, the remaining 30,000 you spend. And if you are doing that, then you will not spend on unnecessary things. You will not do casual spending, or you will not do impulsive spending because you have financial goals. So if you have not been able to invest in the last 5 years, check, do you have financial goals written down and amounts against those, and how much you should invest today. If you do not have them, that is the reason why you are not able to invest. And that is the reason you will not be able to invest in the next coming years. All those who have financial goals know how much to invest per month. In fact, they have SIPs and they invest. So have your financial goals. And now, finally, the seventh point, to underestimate what systematic investment can do. Systematic investment, or SIPs. The power of an SIP is so amazing. I didn't realize this until I started doing it. I was investing. Even before 2012, I was investing, ad hoc investing, lump sum investing, timing the market. But once I started SIP, and now 12 years later, when I can see that what has helped me to build my wealth, whatever I have, is because of SIPs. SIPs have a magic. Watch my video. I urge you to watch this video. In wealth creation is boring. Watch this and you will know how people have created their wealth and how people have lost their wealth because they underestimated the power of SIPs, or systematic investing. We call it systematic investing now, but systematic investing, or we call it SIPs now, but systematic investing has been there for years together. Many didn't know. Probably they were doing in an RD in a bank, or investing in PPF or wherever. But SIPs are so powerful. And SIPs in mutual funds, where it gives 15-20% returns, they're so powerful. So if you have not done, if you didn't invest 5,000 in the last 5 years, it is because you underestimated the power of SIPs. Probably you were directly investing in stocks, or you were investing in FDs or wherever, or you were investing in mutual funds but doing ad hoc investing, timing the market. Then you have lost. That's the reason why you have not been able to invest in the last 5 years. So I encourage you to invest. Do systematic investing. It's so powerful. It's so powerful. So these are the 7 things you need to remember. Just find out of if you have not invested in the last 5 years, out of these 7 things, which were a hindrance. Number one, underestimating the power of time and compounding. Number 2, financial literacy. Number 3, wrong spending priorities. Number 4, burden of debt. Number 5, wrong financial products. Number 6, no financial goals. And number 7, underestimating the power of SIPs. Out of the 7, which ones did you miss? You can let me know in the comment box. And out of these 7, the more you have, the worse it is. You have to eliminate all of them. And then only you'll be able to grow your wealth. And now, coming to another important part, which I talked about in my last video and also talked about it in this video. Can you compensate for the lost years? And I had said yes and no. So let's see, what is this yes in the first place? If you remember, I shared this last year in my last video, SIP in the last 5 years. So those who have invested in the last 5 years, 5,000 per month, roughly they will have around 6.5 lakh. And if either 12%, 15%, or 20%, whatever it is, this is the wealth that will get generated. So let's take 15% because that is possible. Let's take 15%. 2.1 crore additional wealth is created. Now, how to compensate this? And then how to compensate? And then I also talked about If you start investing today at age 35, for the next 25 years, you will gain an additional wealth of around, at 15%, around 1.4 crores. But if you had invested in the last 5 years, you get this additional 2 crore, and that makes it 3.5 crores. Now, if you have not invested in the last 5 years, so you have missed this 2.1 crore. Can we compensate? The good news is yes, you can. You can. And what you need to do? A very simple thing. You need to do something called the Step Up SIP for the next 25 years. Start with 5,000 and keep increasing every year by 15%. For example, first year 5,000, second year make it 5,750, third year make it 6,600. And if you do this every year, increase your SIPs at just 12% per annum, you can actually reach 3.5. And if you get more returns, for example, if you get 15%, you can easily make more than 4-5 crores. So you can compensate for the lost years. And that's the good news. You will have to put an extra effort. You'll have to make some more sacrifices, a little sacrifices, and pray and hope that your salary increases so that a big portion of that, because savings is just probably 10 or 15% of your salary. And if your salary has grown by 5 or 10%, this 15% is a very small portion. Instead of increasing your expenses, increase your SIPs. In fact, nobody stops you from making it 20% every year increase. Now, I also said no. Now, if you can compensate, if it is yes, how come there is no? Any guesses? The one who invested in the last 5 years also have the same opportunity as you to do the step up SIPs. So if they also do this step up SIP, they will always stay ahead in the game. Yes. That's why I said no. So what you have lost is lost. You can compensate by increasing your SIPs. Keep increasing your SIPs. Keep increasing your step up SIPs so that you can catch up. Probably the one who invested in the last 5 years did not increase the step up SIPs. So you have the opportunity. So what do you think of this video? If you have reached this far in this video, I'm sure you have liked it. You have learned from this. Let me know in the comment box, what did you learn? Out of these 7 things, what is most important according to you? According to me, I feel over these years, at least I underestimated the power of time, and I underestimated SIPs. These are the 2 things. If I had known this in my first job, it would have changed everything about my finances. Probably later on, I feel financial goals also made a big contribution to my wealth building journey. So yes, let me know what is it that out of the 7 things, what is most important for you? Because if you know that, because if you follow these seven things, the next coming years will be very fruitful for you. India is growing, India's economy is growing, India's GDP is growing, and you can be a part of the India growth story by investing in mutual funds. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up so I'll know that you liked it. And even YouTube will know that you liked it, and this will be shared to many more people who you think will be helpful for. If you think this was helpful to you and will be helpful to someone else, please forward this video. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe and be a part of this community. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked and enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next video.